It's about issues. It's about us. DW Conversations. Usahang katungod, usahang kinahanglanon. Pag-iristoryahan ka ang kinahanglan pag-iristoryahan. DW Conversations.
Good morning everyone. Today is Thursday. Kumusta ka mo mga kasangkayan? We hope that you are okay. Maupay iton aton panahon niya na. Thank you very much, Han. Siguro engineer Eson oni na may datamanggan pag iistoryahan kasi kakalap kinato kami San Rafael in Taft, Eastern Samar. Takay kunta iton mga sugad hinaaton nga trabaho. May ada tamang good schedule, may ada ta oras. Although may ada tahaton kuan, may ada tahaton na idea nga may amadi dili kitahin guti ay pero dire guti ay. Anyway, siguro meron yan na lang. And we have with us Ma'am Josephine Mendoza all the way from Calbayog City, and of course Ma'am Josephine, this is not your first time here. You were here in 2019. Good morning, Ma'am.
Good morning, Ma'am. It seems to me to be a habit to see Miss Eden when I'm in Borongan.
Of course.
And parang siya lang yung naisturbo ko din.
Paprehuman mamit aton trabaho, di ba? We need to we
coordinate with your
Anyway, papreho kita mga taga dinhi ha, Samar Island. And lately lang ha, wala kita kaagsab ngadto ha.
Because of the pandemic.
Oo, di ba? Kasi kasi di ba yung mga meeting, training.
Yes, so
wala na.
We missed
that. May
that.
datanahin niya na after the pandemic. Anyway, Miss Josephine is here to promote a CDI writing competition. Kasi dito ha, Calbayog, talagang nasa kultura talaga nila. Although din hihaaton, there are some people who are trying to promote this, especially it's siday karag sidungan ini mga kasangkayan iton ini naton nga yinaknan. Kasi inin nga kuan masal ma iton admiteron hikita din hiha Eastern Samar direk manggod kita inin naka angkla ba hiton aton kultura. Unlike hiton aton mga kasangkayan, especially from Calbayog, iton ira musika, diba, sayaw, tapos iton siday, no? So ma'am, tell us more about the siday writing competition.
So okay, this is a siday writing competition. This will be under one title. Usa lang nga title po. This is our first siday writing competition. Tapos nag-decide ang amon grupo to be under one title. The title will be Jose Avellino, an Obrero sa Senado. So that, meaning to say, the CDI would be all about Jose Avellino, his legacy, his, how humble beginnings, his family, and how he, pahingad to ha Senate as president.
The first Senate president from here, no? That is why in Samar, I think holiday ini iton is it the birthday or basta di ba meron tong holiday.
Okay. So wala pa kasing Republic
Act. Okay.
So
parang lang yung proclamation.
Proclamation daw. So this year parang nobody, because ang present administration kasi sa Calbayog overlook the number of days required within which to file the request for a presidential proclamation. So parang kulang sila number of days, matter of 1 week na lang before August 5, which is his birthday. So asya adto nga waray maka-declare, but we observe the day, of course, in his honor, and then the administration, the city administration of Calbayog, and also the provincial government has promised that they will be working on it the following day. And then siguro they would need one congressman or a group of them to sponsor a House bill so that a Republic Act can be passed.
Oo, better para
Para
yan.
permanente
Oo,
nga
parang-
ma-observe.
Oo, parang balangiga. So, bahiton,
Opo.
nga, diri na kita magtitinigo-tigo, uy, may ada ba, iging palusan ng proklamasyon.
Holiday ba yan, ha?
Presidente.
Oo.
So, anyway, ma'am, no, kasi later, while Jose Avellino is well known in Calbayog, suga din niya aton in Eastern Samar, I don't know sa Northern Samar, but in our setting din niya Eastern Samar, hidiri damon iton maaram, mahiunong hiton kinabuhi nga ni Jose Avellino. And kareyag natin because parang, di ba, it is high time to, promote ourselves as one island, no? Nagigikilala kita, maaram kita kung mga hirahin o iton mga notable people dinihiton aton island. So, hahain kita pakakakuhain materials because iton mga, mabulig itong siday. They need to know more about Jose Avellino.
When we launched the program in September 1 together with other activities untahan sa Rakikihadang Festival of Calbayog City with the city government, we promised that we are going to provide the links on where to get the information nga para makakuha, magamit nila para researchan kan Jose Avellino life. So that didahan Calbayog Journal website, ini nga we have posted a story that in that story is some kind of a press release about the contest. Tapos aada dida in official entry form to the CIDAI competition nga may ada on page 4 of the official entry form is the how do you call that, the links and the ideas where to get the information from.
Okay.
So provided sira and ini kasi nga CIDAI writing competition is not just a competition itself because the target po sini is to be able to publish a book of CIDAI writings. So that we are not only promoting and instilling in our minds and hearts and ginhimo haato ni Jose Avellino din niya Samar, but we are also promoting the talents, the CIDAI writing talents of Samareños. So dito kasi this is a Samar Island-wide competition. Kunbaga hunahunaan naton and aton gin-qualified dida nga makaka-participate are Samareños. That we have defined Samareños as those nga natawo din hiya Samar and those migrants nga nagstay in Samar for 10 years at least.
Okay. So those who
regardless of their present residency po.
Ayun, okay. So bisan kun hahain ka mo, basta Samar-born, you can join.
Opo. Tapos ang language nga gagamiton kung taga-norte kita, taga-norte, ni norte, they call it ni norte Samarnon, an era dito dialect. Kung nahaisti kita istihanon. And then kung ato kita Western Samar or Calbayog City, kung ano basta anong tawag ito is an accepted language in the Samar. Andi rila naton ma-accommodate is the likes of there are speaking Visayan speaking areas in Samar and sa Kapol they have a special language.
May nila kalugaringon ngayon.
So an aton is the generally accepted language.
Yes.
Popular.
Okay, bisan may for instance sa norte may mga
ni norte,
words nila nga iba, but generally naintindihan naton. Totoo ni mo, ma'am. So anyway, tell us iton aton mga guidelines iton makakabulig, paano, when, until when.
Okay. So in our guidelines nga adalot hiya Calbayog Journal website ay ini nga an aton may timetable kita nga gin-provide and we will talk about the prices later.
Of course, importante.
Because so an aton timetable na siring man Timetable. Okay. So we launched this in September 1, and then deadline of submission of entries will be on November 15, 2022. Initially po, ang amon deadline was October 15. But because of, advices from professors, and then the need to really have this widely spread sa Summer Island. So, asya ito ginhatag naton until November 15. So, deadline of submission of entries po is November 15. And November 30 will already be posting of top 6 entries in each category. So, when we say each category, we have 2 categories. The professional category, which will be participated by writers aged 21 and above, and then yung sa amateur 15 to 20 years old.
So ito pwede mga estudyante.
So in December 1, sending of notices to the top 6 best written CDI for them to prepare for the performance contest. So meron din tayong performance showdown, but not all na the submitted entries will be in the showdown. Only those selected by the judges as top 6 in both categories, the amateur and the professional category. So in December 1 to 20, acceptance and consideration and protests that may be filed against entries submitted to this contest, because in our guidelines strict po kami.
Okay.
Stricto po. And aton specified dida is that the entry should be should have not been included or submitted to any other contest, but
It should
only
be yung original and then
There-
dyan lang, dedicated to this.
Jose Avellino. Because may nabasa naman kami nga mga write-ups or something like CDI nga na-publish na unta or posted in social media ini nga diri po namon it will not be qualified. Diri
Okay.
ka-qualify. And then on January 10 is the performance and how do you call this? Showdown.
So,
Sa top 6.
so talagang they will meet in one place.
Yes,
For
we will be making invitations and notices, and the showdown will be in Calbayog City because maaro man naman kita siguro nga Calbayog City is the center for culture and the
Yeah,
arts
oo.
in region in Eastern Visayas, di ba? Because we have this CADSEV, like the Center for the Arts and sa school in Calbayog City. So, asya ito atong timetable, writers will have until November 15 to submit. And then, for your information po, may na po kami na-receive through the email address na nag-submit from Sulat, from Borongan City,
Kaupay.
from Eastern Samar particularly. Tapos may dada po sa Northern Samar because we have started receiving. And then dirila po sila mabaraka because the secretariat is reviewing all entries before it is submitted to the panel of judges. And then kung the secretariat sees na may kulang sila, we give considerations of having to advise them through the mail. So right there and then, reply po namon ang ira email on like your CDI entry should contain only the pen name, because we are not giving the judges idea on who the person is. So that in the official entry form, doon lang po malalaman ang tunay na pangalan.
At saka ang makakaalam lang
Ang secretariat lang po.
Okay.
Because as host, yung Calbayog Journal is the host and we are heading the secretariat. Diri namong gintatagad idea ang judges kung sino ang familiarity gihapon sa mga CDI entries, di ba? So, asya ito, we are avoiding that. So, kung an imo CDI entry should contain only the pen name. Kaya dito sa official entry form, may ada dito your real name, author's name, tapos pen name, and then your CDI entry so that it would be easy for us to identify kung sino talaga ang nagsurat sa particular entry.
Okay. So, during the showdown, yung top 6 will they shoulder transportation expenses and accommodations in going to Calbayog?
So,
personal expense nila yun?
So, we are still making arrangements about it, to tell you frankly, but we are seeing to it that the top 6 performers of both categories will be provided of, accommodation when they go to Calbayog. We are, of course, we have the assistance of the business community and also the Filipino-Chinese community in Calbayog City. And then we have submitted proposals already to this effect. But then again, the writers of the best 6 entries would know that they already have something to receive.
Ganon, meron na.
Ganon lang po. Kasi, tapos they have the choice of, pagpili kung hino it magpe-perform han ira siday.
Pwede diri ako. For instance, ako ang naghimo, parang composer lang ako, may singer ako.
Opo. Sa guidelines po, diri pwede mag-perform
and
ikaw
write.
nagsurat. But you can choose another writer to perform for you. Yes. Opo, ganun po yung
Sa bagay kasi
arrangements.
Kung na nagsusurat, di siya mara magyakan.
Kasi what we are trying to put out is how readers or performers would internalize han iya sinurat. Kasi di ba emotional yung performance. There has to be some kind of emotion per facial expression, some body movements. So parang ikaw nagsurat ka, how would readers or performers accept your asya ito.
So, ayaw ko kasi I do not know much about mga ganyan, siday. May ada ba hini, for instance, sa may dako entry, like, may ada ba hini, dito no guidelines, pipera ka paragraph,
yes.
Material no kahalap ba? So, ba ito? May ada ba hini sugad na?
So, didisan amateur is free fall siya. So that you have the freedom to write how many lines, how many stanzas, or how many syllables in one line, and then how many stanzas how many lines is in one stanza. Yun sa amateur division. So free fall siya.
Okay, just a professional.
Sa professional, parang very strict. Meron tayong measure na sinusunod. So, writers will have the choice of using 12 syllables for each line, in 4 lines in every stanza. And then, if you choose the measure of 12, you have to write 12 stanzas.
Okay, so I think that you would know. Ito mga writers.
So, ang choices natin is 12, 14, 16, 18. Kinikita natin lot tidaan consistency. So, kung 1 quatrain is 4 stanzas. So, we are talking of the professional level po. So, 4 lines in 1 stanza. Kung 12 ani mo measure na ginagamit, like, wala tayong sample eh. So, like stanzas is Jose Rira Abelino. So that would be 8. Kamu ng pagtugang.
Okay.
Per syllable. So regardless of how many words are there in one line, as long as it is read in 12, 14, 16, or 18 syllables.
Okay. So ma'am, when we say professional dito sa competition na to, ano ibig sabihin? Professional writers or professionals in their chosen profession?
Professional level kasi we talked, you can be the first-time writer, but kinitawag lang naman kasi siya professional level because of this restrictions. Like may discipline nga ginsusunod.
Okay.
Opo. So, We will be posting tarpaulins sa Eastern Samar State University and then sa provincial capital about this. But better still if you can go to the website for a PDF copy which is downloadable for a provincial, for your, PDF copy. So that Miss Eden here is provided with,
Okay.
how do you call that?
We will also post
a written guideline.
Yes.
So,
we will also post this para may higayon ito na aton mga taga Eastern Samar because parang panalagsa lang ang maada kita sugad hini if ever sugad hini nga competition, and I think it is high time ikita nga may ada naton hini kasi nawawara na actually itaton lang may da din pagsayod kuratsa nga damot gala di ba, pero yung iba it is really sad to say nga when it comes to culture and the arts, medyo we are lacking, no? Medyo kulang talaga kita hini. So, Ma'am Josephine, maaram kita, yung mga writers, hindi yan sila masyadong dyan sa mga monetary, mga makakarawat nira, no? Mga premyo. But, competition may ada lagi hapon premyo.
So competition. And of course, we wish we could give bigger. Pero for this particular contest, we have set prices po. Sa writing competition, we have this amateur category. Ang first prize po is 30,000.
Malaki rin.
Second prize, 15,000. And then the third prize would be 10,000 pesos. Sa professional level po, meron tayong first prize of 50,000 pesos. Kaya nga po tayo very strict. And then, syempre, we also have to protect the art, diba? This is some kind of protecting the CDI writing talents of Samarnons by adhering to some kind of discipline. Kasi po, ipapublish natin sa book yung mga nasulat. The winners are sure to be on the publication, on the book, and then some significant entries will be chosen to be in the book. Ganun po. So, sa second prize po ng professional category is 30,000 pesos, and then third prize is 20,000. So, true nato and professional category, first prize 50,000, second prize 30,000, and then third prize is 20,000. So, makadi naman kitahan performance showdown.
May pangayan.
And performance showdown will be awarded of cash prize of 20,000 each sa amateur ngansan sa performance ngansan professional category. So, on second prize, 15,000 each sa amateur and professional, and then third prize will be 10,000 pesos for the professional and amateur categories.
Malaki na rin, malaking prizes yan para hitun aton mga kabugtuan, no? Sa ma'am, happy naman kita nga may ada ngayon mga taga Eastern Samar nga nag-submit na hanira entry for this competition. Ma'am, yung mga judges are from Samar lagi hapon?
Hindi po. From Samar, and then we are, of course, we are seeing to it that this will be, some kind of may gihapon naton credibility on judging nga diri la Samar noon o diri la Kalbayog noon ang judges. So far didahan amon initial nga ginset na didahan guidelines and judging is that the provincial tourism officer or his representative from each provinces during the performance category po, and then of course we have core group from universities, and then ang ginpipili po naton and we are not divulging names as yet.
Niya na lang, ma'am. Siguro ka naman na lang
we are avoiding syempre and familiarity. They should be some. Tapos gina-avoid liwat naton po kasi syempre the core panel has invited friends to write sa kuan, pero they are not telling who the judges are.
Okay.
So asya ito na naamon po point because we want really to promote and protect kay ang siday po is aton ininta nga sa barlong, di ba? Oo, di ba? Kadamuhan siday writers nga ginpapabayan lan ira talents kasi they have not seen enough inspiration. Para kasi siyang parang kinalsadala or an outlet of thought. Kasi ang siday is an expression of your culture, of your heritage, of kung ano ang aton mentality, di ba? So, kami naman sa Kalbayog Journal po is naghatag po kami importansya or significance sa aton kultura sa siday writing.
Okay.
And then we intend to uphold siday writing.
Oo, sana ano la ini start la ini ma'am para
Yes po.
yung island-wide talaga nga competition, para mabuligan naman yung ibang mga provinces nga medyo mapukaw maggitik sa rin paman yung iton mga tao maram kita may ada ini mga maara maghimo iton mga siday but sa pangani unfortunately wala lang wala lang mga sugad hindi ba nga mga opportunity nga iginhahatag ka ira. So ma'am, yung announcement of winners again when
the announcement of winners, syempre po yung top 6 best writers of each category will be informed as early as November 30. Oo, between November 30 to December 10 may inform na po sila but they won't be informed about first, second, third prizes. So they will be considered as finalists to the showdown. So an announcement of winners in the writing competition will have to be made on January 10 when the performance showdown is going to be staged.
Oh, so right after that.
Oo. So actually maaram na ibabaro na hiton ang writers that they are in the finalists. Na lista.
Kay invited naman nila.
Kay invited na to perform.
Okay.
Pero ang amon liwat siton ipapasiguro nga kung hinuit nag first prize that's sa writing competition does not follow to be the first placer in the performance showdown.
Iba kasi iton ini.
Iba kasi an arts and performance kontra an art and writing.
Precisely.
So we are giving recognition to both the performance and the writers at the siday writing po.
So mga writers pag teri-teri na kamo hiton pwede magbasa hiton iyo mga siday with feelings nga mai-express kung ano karegbut sidngon hiton writer, no? Siguro maupay to be someone who is close to you, a very close associate, maybe a family member, or ambot kung may dahin mga professional performers, vocal.
Actually may dito kasi Tacloban, I was there yesterday, may nagpakiana na if I am not a writer but I'd like to perform, parang kilala siya nga performer. Pwede ako, sibanak, you have to speak with a writer para ikaw at mapili kung hino. Kasi an organizers of the siday writing competition will not intervene of the writer's choice.
Basta writer's choice
Writer's choice ang magpe-perform.
It could be anybody of his or her choice.
You can even choose another writer to perform for a writer, for that particular entry. Tapos you can even, invite whoever kay mo karuyag he be professional lang performer or whatever, basta it is a writer's choice.
Okay. So, ini again mga kasangkayan, take this opportunity. May adagagitihin mga siday-siday writing pero mga very small scale, no? And ini iba ini mga kasangkayan, no? This is an island-wide CDI writing competition. Mahiunong han kinabuhi legasiya ni Jose Avellino. More than, yung writing, mas mahibabaro kita. Mahiunong naman hang kinabuhi ni Jose Avellino. One of the first Samareños who made their mark in politics, national politics.
Tapos, nga di kitahan format,
Okay.
format in submission of the entries through the email, kasi an amon siton discipline is that copy-paste na lang ang secretariat to be able to provide to the judges. So, all entries must be encoded in MS Word format
Okay.
using Times New Roman font type and then 12 points ang font size. So, ganun ka delikado.
Ganun po. Technical talaga.
Oh, very technical. Tapos, spacing between lines, stanzas is the discretion of the writer or as for aesthetic purposes. So, siya ito na naton. And then, entries through the mails can be submitted through jdavellino.cdiwritingcompetition@gmail.com. So we really opened an email address for the purpose. So that an aton na expect nga makakarawat siton nga email is an CDI entries lang po. Or you can
may era kasi mga tao naman, Miss Josephine, nga direct talaga hirang mga ano ba to? Nahibilnan pa hira, digital age waray pa umabot ha ira, can they submit it in any other form?
Yes po. Actually, sa Kalbayog, sa Amon office, we already received several files of written CDI po. Ginsusubmit nira, they ask computers, how do you call it, centers to download it for them, the official entry form. And then, ginpapaprint out nira, tapos ang ira CDI ginpapatype, and then they send it to room 6. Address to Josephine Mendoza po. Josephine Mendoza, room 6, second floor, UCPB building, Gomez Street, Calbayog City.
Okay. So we will just be posting this para hitong mga interested pa until November 15, no?
Opo.
Until November 15, 11:59 p.m. You still have time, no? Kuwan pa man layan na
October
6, no? So you still have time actually para naman gihapon makapagsurat hitong iyo CDI. Paniyo time para ma-revise at makalima ka beses.
Opo.
Diba?
Very true. Kasi didasan, okay, you can, for details also, you can call me at 0917-890-2577. Again po, for details, 0917-890-2577. You don't have to worry because ako lang po ang nakakabaton hit na number.
O kasi bangin may ada mga diri nakaklaruhan,
Opo.
iton nga mga sasubmit iton ira mga entries.
Oo. Kasi po, at the time na natawag hira, tapos busy ako, I tell them that I will call in a few minutes. Like I am in a meeting, so I cannot be, or I am on a travel. So, pero we assure them that at the end of the day, we get in touch with whoever was asking for information about the competition po.
Okay. So, ini mga kasangkayan again, you are invited, wahi kawarahin ang hininga ko ang talento manggod. Para iton mga may ada talento, paghimo, pagsurat hiton CDI, take this opportunity, no? Jose Avellino, an obrero sa Senado, CDI writing competition. Deadline of submission of entries is
November 15.
not October 15,
Opo.
but November 15. So you still have time to do this, no?
Because after the rounds, before October 15 po, we will be updating our press releases about the contest para updated naman po yung mga interesado participate.
Okay, so Ma'am Josephine, thank you very much for taking time out to come to Borongan for this para dinihaan man di manggad ini baga ura-ura wari manggad namon hini mga sugad nga mga competitions, tam competition din beautiful sugad dito. And I think maupay naman ini kasi bangin makakuha naman hin idea ito naton ibang mga officials para mag-launch naman kitahin mga sugad na programa, di ba? Sugad ng mga projects because napaka maupay talaga ini. Para tat mga kabataan mahibaro pagsurating kumpleto. Dire la ay pagsurat din
Pero to start with, they can sa amateur level kasi mga senior high school o the high school students nakikita kasi naton nga may ada mga arts.
Let's start them young. And sana iton aton mga teachers i-encourage iton aton kabataan kasi maram kat mga teachers maaram kamo kun hino iton yung mga kabataan iton medyo may ada promisa, may da talento. This is a skill and a talent nga maram kita damoy may da warata but nalilipay kita kay itong sugarin nga mga opportunity di man agsub nalilipay kita nga may ada outlet iton aton mga writers hiton mga writers naton hiton siday kasi itatlan hibabaron mga writers man magsurat it news. Oy, balita rin ba Ma'am Josephine? Maram ka magsurat si Dan Ma'am Josephine maram lang magsurat it news. Kasi itat ibang mga kakilala.
Pero we appreciate Siday very much. That's why we are reaching out to those with talents na continue po kay kami din appreciate very much.
Taga natin na right on opportunity,
yes.
No? May ada man higayon to do that. So, binubuhat natin ini. Ma'am, thank you very much for your time and update us na lang, no? If there will ever be changes ito na schedules, no?
Yes,
please update us para every now and then igsusumat natin din.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ma'am Josephine Mendoza from the Calbayog Journal. We will take a break. Mabalik kita after this.
Thank you.
DW Conversations. It's about people. It's about issues. It's about us. DW Conversations. Usahang katungod. Usahang kinahanglanon. Pag-iristorya ita ang kinahanglan pag-iristoryahan. DW Conversations.
May ada mga kabataan, mga batanon, nga tinatabangan na iton kinabuhi. Damo aira, iton may ada na babarakan, unahadlukan. May ada naman na diri na nga nihin kabuhi. Tungod kay kaira pag-abat o pagtanaw, waray nakarawat, una higugma haira. Usahay, ginbabasol pangari nira, an ira mga kaanak. Tungod hindamo nga mga problema, ganati ka nga hawan ira pamilya. Kapag katinuod, maupay itong kinabuhi. Waray mas mamaupay pa, kayhan kinabuhi. Kay kung mahiintindihan la, bisan pangani ang mga problema, mga kabarakan, mga ayat o mga challenges. Nakakabulig ini, base pakusgon, ang kasing-kasing, ang kadatagsa, o ang kinabuhi. Ang batanon nga nadiri o nga diri na agihin kakurian. Natitigurang nga maluya, malubay, oray kusog. ug diri nagiging malipayon. Sanglit ayaw igraot hinbuot kung usahay naagi indamo nga mga pagsubok han imo kinabuhi. Lugod, pagpasalamat nga buhi ka.
Ito na burson, dako nga kasalanan. Pagpatay ito hintaw. May ada mga tao nga nagubuhat hini tungod hin pagkaawod o kundi man tungod hin kakablasan. Kundi iton kaarawdan o kakablasan guti la nga bahin kundi katandi hin pagpatay hin tao. Waray bisan ano nga rason nga makakapagaan han pagpatay hin tao. Labi na kun ini nga tao usap pala nga baby nga ada hiton sulod hiton tiyan han iya nanay. Tinatawagan ko ang mga kaganak, katigurangan ug mga health workers. Sagluni ug tudui iton iyo mga anak nga diri magbuhat hin abortion.
Proclaim Christ in season and out of season. I would like to express my profound gratitude to all the priests, the religious men and women, and their lay co-workers in the Diocese of Borongan for their creativity in proclaiming Christ in the midst of the constraints brought about by COVID-19. Unconventional approaches in proclaiming the gospel were explored and used. But you did not compromise orthodoxy. You made a concrete response to the challenges of the new evangelization. With creativity, passion, courage, and love, you continue proclaiming Christ. True to St. Paul in his second letter to Timothy, you proclaim the word in season and out of season. I am sure Christ is happy for you.
VW Conversations. It's about people. It's about issues. It's about us. VW Conversations. Usahang katungod, usahang kinahanglanon. Pag-iristorya ita ang kinahanglan pag-iristoryahan. DW Conversations.
And we are back on VW Conversations. Happy birthday nga dahiton aton kaupod dinha Este News. Maureen Salamida. Happy birthday, Maureen. Kuan, stay beautiful always. Anyway, yesterday we had a chance nga makabisita for the first time actually. Bisan ko niya anhi inihara Eastern Samar. Nakabisita kitahan Taft Hydro Energy Corporation dito in San Rafael. Na dilatar nga ni kita because nagpapadayon naman itong trabaho ini nga pag kinuan ba tinuhay hiton ini nga I think it's pag tuhay hiton slope dida hini nga mga bukidlig diton highway especially along Binaluan Hatap, so medyo na dilatar kita. That is why para hiton mga magbibiyahe using it didi nga kalsada Taft right Borongan Road, okay lang basta diri lang kamo giikagi because every now and then maudang talaga itong traffic to make way para itong trabaho. Nagtitimpag kasi dito haigbaw, nagtatanggal hira itong mga bato, baras, no, tapos sinuhulog na itong kalsada. So delikado sanglit maudang laani talaga itong trapiko diri lanay malarga, and then after that magki-clearing, and then pwede na dadaman lumabay iton mga sasakyan, and then after that balik na dadaman hiton nga ano ini trabaho. But anyway, itong kalsada kasi dida one lane na lang talaga ang nadadaanan, so medyo na dilatar kita, but anyway it doesn't matter. Importante we were able to be there kuan ano ini Taft Hydro in San Rafael, and we had the chance para makaistorya. Mr. Benji Picardo, who is the president and CEO hiton Taft Hydro Energy, and then he gave us a tour, and siguro in the next weeks or so atan iniipapakita ha iyo. Anyway, with the ano ini istorya ari nga sa bahin hiton kamahal hiton kuryente nga in taripa naton nga binabayaran itong kuryente Isamelco, and then iton ari nga sa nga may ada man kita kompanya nga nag-generate hin power dinhi Eastern Samar, no. So yung mga we asked him kung kay ano nga diri lugod hira nakaka-supply hiton kuryente nga hinaman aton through Isamelco, and damula naton nga mga pakiana. After all, it was our first time nga maka-istorya. Of course, kami, Engineer Pepe and Alvin Beronio, siya inian aton agad. So, if we are ready with that, Renzo, paki-play yung ating video.
Ready?
3.
Wait lang. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Mapay nga oras sa iyo nga tanan mga kasangkayan, aadi kita niyan abong to hiton Taft. Specifically, adi kita hiton site hiton Taft Hydro Energy Corporation, and kaupod naton yan na iton aton president hiton Taft Hydro, Mr. Benji Picardo. Mapay nga oras, Sir Benji.
Mapay nga kalupliwat.
Okay. So, Sir Benji, tagila iton aton mga viewers and listeners, iton overview hiunong hinhiling nga project.
Okay. Well, I'll start with the technical description. No? This is rated as a 16 megawatt hydroelectric plant. No? Hydro meaning our fuel that we use is tubigla. No? Hydro. Tubigla, di kami nagamit. It's a renewable energy source. So we're dependent on Mother Nature. But luckily for us, or thankfully, we are blessed with so much precipitation. iuurani din sa Eastern Samar. And this is one of the reasons why we picked the Eastern Samar to be the site for hydro. In fact, throughout the country, this is the most ideal as far as rainfall is concerned. No? Now, like I said, it's hydro, it's fed by water. One thing that contributes to to the quality of this plant is the fact that it is arguably the thickest forest area in the country. No, it's not denuded like other parts of northern Luzon, no, and other parts of the country because of thankfully we have advocates who stopped mining some 35 years ago. No, the reason I said that and the importance is when the rain falls in a thickly vegetated area like ours, is it retains the water, no, instead of evaporating. No, so if you can imagine, if when water falls on concrete or a fully denuded area, it immediately evaporates. No, but with this, because of the thick forest cover and vegetation, it retains the moisture, no, down below. And then the root system also of these trees around us, beautiful. The root system gradually feeds the water into the river. No, we have 237 square kilometers of what we call watershed area. No, that feeds the Taft to Big River. No, so that year round, even during dry season, of course, there's really no pronounced dry season in Eastern Samar. No, in fact, we characterize our climate here as wet to very wet. No? But during the low flow, low precipitation season, we always have water dripping into the river because of the root system and the thick forest cover that we have. No? So that's one. And then, so how we do it is behind us is a little weir, no? It's 14 meters high, because hydro is a function of two things. One is the volume of water that flows, and then second is the height differential between this and where the turbine is, which I will show you later. No? So in this case, we have a height differential of 37 meters, no? From the source of the water to the turbine itself that propels the generator. No? So those are the two basic requirements of a hydro plant. No? So like I said, we're blessed with the precipitation. At the same time, we have the height differential. No? So, okay, we have essentially 8 major components of this plant. No? One is the weir, okay, that traps the water here. And then we also have an intake. Look at that, the one with the green trash rack. No? Ay, red pala. So the water flows through that, and then it goes to a desander. Desander is it's to wash away the siltation that might come from the river. No? And then we flush it every once in a while when we see it's already silted, right? And then it flows through a canal. It's about 972 meters, all the way to a 4-bay. 4-bay is where we impound the water, and then it feeds into 3 big pipes, which are called penstock. So 37 meters from the top down to the bottom, and it hits the turbines underneath the powerhouse. No? And then the turbines are the ones that propel the generator that creates electricity. So that's essentially it. And then the last part is we have a substation here that connects na to the NGCP 69 kV power lines that distributes the power to the different distribution units like the co-ops and ultimately the consumers.
Okay, so, sir, we are generating na energy. Saan natin binibenta? Where do we sell energy, power, kuryente generated from here?
Okay. Yeah. There are three ways that an independent power producer like us uh, can sell our energy. No, one is through the feed-in tariff, where we are contracted with Transco, the Philippine government. No, second is bilateral. Bilateral meaning you contract with certain distribution unit like Isamelco, or Samelco, or any of the distribution units that exist in the area. That's another one. The third one is through WESM, wholesale electricity spot market, where we trade, we could potentially trade our energy. Now, what we did is the government, when they instituted the EPIRA law, um, tried to encourage the development of renewable energy. You know, and they offered many incentives to attract investors like myself to invest in the development of hydro, solar, wind, and any other renewable energy source. Um, what we picked was um, feed-in tariff, because there are many benefits that accrue our company. Like for instance, we don't pay for VAT, and then we have a 7-year income tax holiday. So and then an assured market. Okay, we don't have to sell to anyone. We don't have to worry about collecting from the distribution units and all that. Now, um, we are only charging 5 pesos and 87 centavos for every single kilowatt that we generate. No, we could have contracted with Samelco. No, but at that time and even up to now, Isamelco was still bound by a longer term contract, most of which was with GN Power. No, I would have very much loved to have a bilateral contract with Isamelco, but they could not because they're bound by an existing contract. No, hopefully by next year or a year later, when their obligation is lapses, we could always go back to Isamelco and have a bilateral uh, contract with them. Now, Isamelco now is the majority of your supply is contracted with GN Power, which is a coal plant. No? And I know the pain right now is because of the rising costs. Your bills have skyrocketed. Uh, there are reasons for it. One is this. There is a set amount that they are contracted with, which is called a cost recovery fee of something like 3 pesos and 75 centavos. No? However, there are two layers also that are volatile, no? And it depends upon market dynamics. Okay, one is the cost of coal. As you probably know, um, coal has really skyrocketed, no, because of so many crises around us, and the our main source of coal are Malaysia and Indonesia. They decided to limit their export of coal, where most of our coal plants are coming from. No? So that's one. I think nag-quadruple na ngayon. Ano? And then the other one is Forex. No? Foreign exchange. With the rising dollar vis-a-vis the peso, it also drove our price now to, I think, the current um, generation cost of Isamelco that they're paying is over 12 pesos now, as we speak. So that's where it is. So the advantage with us, is we don't have to deal with fuel, we don't have to deal with diesel, bunker, or coal. Ang kausap lang namin ang Panginoong Diyos. No? He lets it rain, we're blessed with the rain, and you know, this is why we can keep our cost constant and down without being victims of market dynamics, market global dynamics, because we don't have oil, we don't have coal. No? So we sell to the government. I just would like to correct or debunk the misinformation that's going out there that Taft Hydro is selling to consumers in Manila. Not true. Not true. In fact, you are benefited by our presence here because if you notice, your voltage quality has really improved. No? From what used to be 160 lang ngayon 220 na, no? And we're reaching, so the quality of your voltage in especially in Eastern Samar has maintained to the ideal stage where hindi na nasusunog yung mga appliances ninyo, and during peak hours danay tala na lang nga na rotate ani yung electric fan, aircon di nyo magamit, mga ganon, no? And so we are acting as a transformer, no? But so it again, no, for the uninformed and misinformed, just to clarify, we are not selling to any distribution unit like we've been accused of selling to Meralco. No, we don't. We don't. Bahala na si Transco kung magkano yung sisingilin sa inyo, no? But since they are contracted with other generation entities like GN Power, and then some of it are from Transco, we have no control over the pricing that ultimately gets charged to the consumers.
So, sir, ano yung possibility of, Isamelco contracting with you for us Eastern Samarianos to benefit from the low cost of renewable energy at saka yung proximity?
Correct. Yes. Very good question, Eden. No? We are building another phase 2, just about 1.7 kilometers away. We are now in deep discussions with Isamelco for a bilateral relationship where we could only charge them a level na no longer volatile charge rate. So, God willing, we could complete that project in third or fourth quarter of next year. Yeah. So you can have some relief from the dependency on the volatile and rising cost of fossil fuel.
So at least that is better news.
Yeah,
Looking
indeed.
forward to that.
Yes, yes, indeed. And now, even now, no, you would also benefit our consumers, and Isamelco would also benefit from, because if you notice your bill, no, there is a line there that says systems losses. We are able now to mitigate that or to reduce the system loss because you don't have a lot of system losses anymore, no? Kasi ang quality ng ng voltage ninyo is steady na. No? Because the way it works is if you have high demand here during peak hours, no, you have to infuse more electricity coming from Luzon or Tongonan, no, just to compensate. So somehow it ends up costing the consumers money. Yeah. So that's, you should, well, I can't really predict anything, but if should the cost of fuel, of coal, of bunker remain steady or even decrease, and also the dollar to peso exchange remains at 59 or less, then you should expect a reduction in your electricity bills.
So, sir, every time may ada hinisugod nga mga projects, may ada hiniparmi concern, the environmental impact, especially with this, and the social impact sa mga residents here, no? So, ano ini, mga binubuhat natin to, lessen whatever mga talaguti nga mga danyos nga nahibang in the course of, the construction of the plant.
Okay. Good question again. First of all, it behooves us to protect the forest. No, we have to maintain the forest to enjoy the abundant water that we are benefiting. No, so it really is it really is a mandate from us to protect the forest and to reforest whatever we was affected during the construction. In fact, um, we have a. By the way, our lessor is SINP, Summer Island Natural Park, which is part of DNR. No, we're paying them an annual fee, and we also secured a tree cutting permit. And the tree cutting permit, they counted every single tree that was affected by our road network, for instance. And our lease agreement with them calls for every tree that we would cut, we would plant 100 seeds, and we are eclipsing that. No, we were only required, I think, 120 seeds. We now have over 500,000 seeds, and we planted over 200,000 already, as you can see. So we've rehabilitated what was perceived as the damage, which is really not the damage, because we, responded right away. No, so we have tree cutting, tree planting activities with multi-sectoral support, and of course we have our own embedded people, crew that constantly. We have a nursery which I will show you. We are constantly planting seeds. So ganon, no, it we really need to do that now. Socio-environmental impact is this. Before we came in, there was nothing here. The 500 some odd households that lived here in San Rafael East had no means of livelihood but illegal logging, kaingin, and uling making. Very damaging to the environment. In fact, this part here is Calbone, no? Because they engaged in those illegal activities. Since we started, the forest rested because they are now working for us. We have a crew of 787 right now that are working on the next project. So they would rather do that than pollute their lungs with smoky uling making. That's very dangerous to the health, very damaging to their health, and they enjoy it. And we are the minimum wage in Eastern Samar is 325 pesos per a day. We're paying our employees an average of 425 to 450, and I can be proud of that. So that wala nang nag-uuling ngayon. And tuwang-tuwa sa amin yung DNR and the forest itself. No? So we have improved somewhat the lot of the people here. There's no more reverse migration, and I'm also proud of the fact that when there was nothing happening during the pandemic, we started in February of 2020. We employed all these people. We never stopped. In fact, in the annals of hydro construction, this is a record. We finished it in 18 months. Yeah, so 18 months, and most hydro plants 5-7 years to build. Blessing in disguise also, we quarantined our people here. We fed them, we housed them, walang lumalabas, and we had a very good anti-COVID program, and then we facilitated their immunization, vaccination. So by God's grace, here we are.
Sir, any aside from yung phase 2, ano pa itong iba in the pipeline?
Okay, good question. Now, we have corporate social responsibility programs. One of the more concrete projects that we're doing to sustain, because when we're finished, where will they go? So we have, for instance, the women here, we created a women's organization. We gave them a water refilling station as a sustainable means of livelihood, teaching them social enterprises. We have a bakery that hopefully they can sustain. You know, we have a small gasoline station that could be a form of their livelihood. But I think the most impactful and more sustainable program that we have is bamboo plantation. No, we will be planting in the next 2 years over 2 million clumps of bamboos. Okay, one is it's one of the best carbon capture. Uh, uh, it's not actually a plant; it's a grass, considered grass. No, because it absorbs a lot of the CO2, carbon. No? And at the same time, it's a livelihood program. The program is comprehensive enough that we would pay the residents here 27 at this time pesos per clump of bamboo. We would provide the seeds, and then the other part of this, the more sustainable part, is bamboo is one of the fastest growing plants or trees or grasses. No, in 3 years you can harvest it. No? And we're getting the seeds yung giant bamboo, because right now globally there is a shortage, and there will be a shortage of timber, of lumber. No? In fact, in other countries, there is a widespread use now of bamboo. Okay, bamboo is one of the most durable forest products. So the engineered bamboos are made into floors, furniture. They're even using those as for tall. I would imagine so, because based on our studies, like I said, we have about 50 years of empirical data of rainfall in the region, and our estimates. This is why we only built 16 megawatts here, because from historical data, we think that it could sustain 16 megawatts throughout the year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, my pleasure. Thank you.
One, two, three.
Okay. So, sir, kay ano nga nakapaghimo kahing project within the area of the Samar Island Natural Park, SINP?
Another good question. It actually took over 10 years for our compliances and permitting. This was bidded out by DOE as one of the sites, and we participated, and luckily for us, we won. Unbeknownst to us, this belonged to a protected area and a forest area also. So that I actually, frankly, almost gave up on this project because of that strict limitation. It literally took an act of Congress to change the NIPAS Act. No? It's the law that manages the protected areas. So, like I said, it took an act of Congress for us to lobby Congress, and I worked on the Congress, and Lauren Legarda worked on the Senate part. No? That was during the time of Gina. Luckily for us, again, it was revised to allow development in multi-use areas. This one happens to be a multi-use area, not a strict protected area. Kasi strict protected area, you cannot touch it at all, no human intervention at all. No? However, the irony of it is the fact that even before SIMP came to being, and this was classified as a protected zone, there were already 242 barangays that existed in the protected area, and 7 municipalities, to include that Maharlika Highway. no? So there was something wrong with the mapping and the establishment of this protected area at first. So yes, so we are leasing from the DNR, which is a special agreement for protected areas called SAPA. No? So we have a 25-year lease. But before we were granted that, so we submitted to them all kinds of studies and maps and detailed engineering design for the affected areas. No? So before we could even start, we did a tree inventory of the trees that could potentially have been affected. No? So we actually came up with a count of 1,020 ata yun. So, like I said earlier, we are contractually bound by the contract that we have to plant 100 trees for every single tree that we would cut. No? So 100, but we eclipsed that. We have well over 500,000 now seeds. We've planted over 200,000 trees around this area and beyond. Because, as I said, it is our mandate, obligation, it behooves us to keep this forest intact because that is our source of water. No? So when water falls to a thickly forested area, it retains the water and doesn't get absorbed by evapotranspiration. It doesn't evaporate right away. It flows into the river, and the river is the one that feeds our turbine.
So yun lang, sir, yun lang yung conditions
Right.
for you to be able to.
Yes, and it is in a multiple use zone, which we can. Anyone can develop something here with the permission of the Protected Area Management Board, as well as DNR, of course. So we have our ECC. Kompleto yung papeles namin. So, like I said, it took 10 years to get all the permitting, and yet, that's what we call the political engineering side of the project. No? 10 plus years. Yung physical engineering aspect only took us 18 months to build this thing. So,
Yung renewable naman, sir, ang lease agreement. It is renewable.
yes, 25 and 25.
Okay. And 25 and 25.
Well, hopefully. Because the life of the plant is actually 50. It's
Oh.
not a BOT or any of that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Actually, mga kasangkay, but more, we have more, no, for you. Mahiunong naman hini. Get to know. This is the first and the only power plant in Eastern Samar. And this is harnessing water, no? Dida naman hiton salog. Asya ini na iton magindudo so iton atong gobyerno mga kasangkayan, renewable energy, no? Ini nga diri kita na gamit hiton uring or coal, bunker fuel, diesel, no, which is unfriendly hiton aton environment. That is why iton mga companies nga may ada nira intention sugadini, no, pag kamay ada mga projects for renewable energy, may ada talaga hini mga baga ginhahatag hiton gobyerno nga mga incentives kasi nga asya ini iton target hiton aton gobyerno that I think by 2030 iton irahin ni target nga at least 35% hiton enerhiya nga ginagamit naton dinhi sa Pilipinas would be renewable energy, no. So asya ini iton ira target nga magtikataas and then we get rid of ini nga mga nagamit hiton coal, iton nga mahugaw, no, nga nakakahibang hiton atong kapaligiran, panguna nga kausa hiton climate change, no. Anyway, we will have more and more about Taft Hydro, iton irang mga projects, and then iton masunod yung phase 2 is already under construction. Another 15 megawatt kuan ini nga proyekto nga hapag kaya na pala sa ring pa ni Sir Benji inin nagtitikang nga hira hiton pag hiruhimang ro pagtuhay para hin bilateral agreement with Isamelco para makabenepisyo naman iton mga taga Eastern Samar hiton mas barato nga kuryente because renewable is a lot cheaper. So, thank you very much ayong nga tanan. Nagpapasalamat kita again kan Ma'am Josephine Mendoza who was with us earlier. Until next time on Conversations. God bless.
VW Conversations. It's about people. It's about issues. It's about us. VW Conversations. Usahang katungod. Usahang kinahanglanon. Pag-iristorya ita ang kinahanglan pag-iristoryahan. VW Conversations.